Commissioner Stephen Jackson. I'm here today as a candidate for House District 2. Over the last 7 years, I've been representing House District 2. I've been representing Cattle Commission District 3, and I believe that I've been a fierce advocate for my community and a champion for our community, from leading efforts to remove the Confederate monument at the courthouse, to extending access to early voting locations with opening the South Shreveport or South Cattle location, to doing things like getting COVID-19 resources out well before the federal government came in to provide testing, as we saw clergy who were national leaders pass away. We saw so many loved ones lose individuals to COVID-19, and we were first in our community, and we were one of the first in the country to mobilize a mobile COVID-19 testing, as well as do mobile COVID-19 vaccinations. I've also been on the very forefront of advocating for equality in our community, making sure that we recognize all individuals in this community, and making sure that we recognize that our Black and brown citizens must be treated with fairness and equality, making sure that the LGBTQ+ community is treated with fairness and equality. I've also stood up to the payday lending community here, and we placed a moratorium on opening new payday loan facilities because we know the predatory effects that it has in our community. I stood up and made sure that we had a parish-wide housing trust fund so that we reinvested in our communities. I believe that individuals, regardless of whether you're a homeowner or whether you live on public housing or whether you live in affordable housing, you deserve a safe, quality, and decent place to live in dignity. And so I've done things that are tangible, that I can put my hands on, that have yielded results. They're not immediate results, but if you know that things takes time, I've been on the forefront along with my colleagues on the commission in moving the needle forward. Have we been perfect in doing everything? Absolutely not. But who in here is perfect? Nobody. But what we do is we wake up every day and we try to make Cattle Parish better. I'm going to Baton Rouge so that I can be an advocate for Northwest Louisiana. Louisiana often looks over Northwest, our northwestern part of the state. We have a medical institution here, a teaching facility, that if we don't make sure that we protect it, Tyler, Texas has just started a medical facility. We can lose our med school to Tyler. ULM is looking at starting a med school. We can lose that medical facility to Monroe. It is threatened by having two entities or two municipalities right on the edges of us start medical education. We have to invest in our med school. I was the first persons to start talking about a medical corridor when they were talking about building an edifice on Cross Bayou. I said, let's invest in our medical, let's invest in our inner core and our resources. I'm Stephen Jackson, number 56 on your ballot, candidate for House District 2. If I leave early, it's not because I don't value this time. I'm supposed to be in Baton Rouge for a statewide housing conference where I'm on the panel at as well.
Mr. Darrow, since you started first, we're gonna go backwards. I'm gonna start with Mr. Jackson, and then. So the first question that we have: what concrete steps will you take to attract companies with good-paying jobs to the area?
Yeah, what I would do as a state representative to attract good, high-quality paying jobs is, one, make sure that we are having certified sites. That's the first step. Companies want to know that they can come in and start immediately. They're not trying to go through this long, drawn-out planning process. At the Cattle Commission, we've invested and we've partnered up with organizations like SWEPCO, LED, NLEP to make sure that we have as many certified sites available. That means they're already zoned. That means they already have water and sewer going to it. They already have the infrastructure that is needed, because we have to have shovel-ready sites ready to go. The other thing that I think we need to look at is what incentives are we offering. One of the things that I was big on when Amazon came was that they do not exempt their education taxes. They decided that they did not want an exemption on their taxes that funded education as well as criminal justice. And so while my opponent, who's not here, says that the school board has an additional $12 million, part of that $12 million is because even though they have not opened, it's because companies like Amazon is now paying taxes. They have to pay their fair share of property taxes. The other thing that I want to make sure that we do is we have a trained workforce. making sure that we marry workforce development, workforce readiness with our higher education, as well as our K-12 partners. We have to make sure that that workforce pipeline is together. Then I think we have to invest in people and human infrastructure, make sure that our folks are happy, and make sure that our folks are humanly sound with regard to mental behavior health, housing, and things of that nature. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I have always been a person in my time as an elected official who believe in consistency. You can't be this way on this issue and another way on another issue. You have people who stand up and say, I'm for small government, government shouldn't intrude in personal lives. When we saw COVID-19 taking place, we had a pastor in Louisiana take a case all the way to the state Supreme Court because he felt that government was interfering in personal decisions that he was making about his health. Why shouldn't we have the same with regards to women choosing what they do with their bodies? Particularly, we have gone so far to be so radical that we criminalize it. When you do things like that, you begin to make an underground type situation where folks are going across state borders, they're going underground to get it, you have these bootleg facilities set up. So I believe that it's a woman's right to choose. It's between her and her medical doctor. I believe that no one should interfere with that, just as some folks believe that government should stay out of the private sector. I think government should stay out of private lives. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. What's your stance on gun control, particularly in relation to your district, Mr. Jackson?
Yes, I am in favor of individuals having a law-abiding right to their Second Amendment. What I'm not in favor of is illegal weapons being in the hands of folks who do not supposed to have them. We have a gun culture here in Louisiana, and that's basically an epidemic across the country. I am not trying to come and take folks' guns who should legally have them. That's not what I'm about. But I do believe that we have a gun epidemic that we have to address, and we have to be honest about it. Too many young individuals are ending up with these high-powered assault rifle weapons in their hand long before they even go take the ACT. Something is wrong with that. We need to do something with regard to mental behavior health, crisis intervention at the grassroots level, pushing that information out to the community. In Louisiana, we have a 988 number, but we underfunded the 988 crisis hotline so bad it's almost non-existent. We pushed it off to local governments and police departments to just deal with it and come up with an answer, but we provided no resources to have crisis intervention teams go out in the community to be able to do the crisis intervention, conflict resolution. And so that's what you heard John Paul talking about when the Juvenile Justice Committee came and said we need to build bigger pods. I stood up and said, no, we need to do things like mental behavior health. We need to do things like workforce development so that individuals know that there is an alternative to picking up a weapon and taking someone's life. Thank you.
Repeat it. Given the importance placed on crime reduction by the public, how will you address this pressing issue? And we actually will start with you, Mr.
Yes, it's what I've said already. I think community mental behavior health, connecting individuals to workforce development. What we have seen, and as I chair the Juvenile Justice Committee, what we're seeing is violent crime, the offenders are becoming younger and younger and younger. And we have to figure out what is happening at these young age that's making individuals result to a life of crime as opposed to conflict resolution, mediation, crisis intervention. I do believe when you attach individuals to a job, when you attach them to something greater or higher power, whether it's religion, whether it's workforce development, whether it's just a greater sense of community, those individuals are least likely to commit a serious crime. We know that children are going to be children, deviant behavior exists, but the violent crime that we're seeing is almost at an epidemic level. And so I believe that if we get individuals doing universal pre-K, get folks educated, and it's going to take a while to fix this issue. But building bigger jails is not the answer. Locking more people up is not the answer. I do believe that we can invest in technology, that the shot spotter, I've been an advocate of that. I've been an advocate of deploying resources that we can help law enforcement detect when there are threats going on social media, because a lot of this stuff is manifesting on social media, and it manifest when it gets to the school, when it gets out in public, and then it's too late. And so I think we have to be smart about how we address these issues, but I want to make sure that we're connecting folks with resources and opportunities first.